Hello and welcome to another 3D printing video. It has certainly been a while since I've uploaded. I did upload a few days ago, but actually making a 3D printing video, it's been a long time. And I was looking through my channel and I had only uploaded 3 videos in all of 2019. And I only published one this year, and we're already, what, 1/3 of the way through the year? And so I uploaded a video and I got some comments and some responses to that video that a few of you out there would actually like me to continue uploading 3D printing videos. That kind of encouraged me to actually maybe put some time into it. I have been 3D printing more than normally. I'm doing college now, so I haven't had a whole lot of time or motivation to be using the 3D printer, and it had been months since I actually turned it on. But since the coronavirus stuff, I've had time, so I have been 3D printing a little bit, but I just didn't want the extra hassle of trying to record it and edit it and publish it. So that's what I'm doing today. But today I have a really cool project because my sister has a friend who has a brother who has a hedgehog who's in need of some accessories. So today I'm going to make this guy some accessories, this hedgehog. What I was thinking I would do is I would make him a unicorn horn, about that big, that'd be cool, and paint it so it's pretty cool. Then I was also thinking to make some weapons. So I did 3D print these already. I made a video last night, and I made these. They're right here, see if you can see them. I made these, but they're way too small for a hedgehog. The unicorn horn might be okay, but there's no way to attach it to his head or figure out how to do that. So I modified the unicorn horn, added some tabs with some holes in it, so maybe you could tie some string around his head. That'd be cool. I edited that on the computer and I 3D printed it here, so that's better. I also scaled up the sword to about 3 times its size because for some reason I was super smart and calculated that the average size of a hedgehog's hand was 3 centimeters. That's the information I got, but my brain told me it was 3 millimeters, which is really tiny. So I actually made the sword with like a 5 millimeter handle, where it should have been somewhere around like 30 millimeters, which is pretty big. But I did scale up the sword a bit. It may not be big enough. I don't really have scale. I don't have the hedgehog. The hedgehog is very far away, but I'm making this, and I think the weapons that I printed are gonna be cool. So I can show you guys right now. So here are the weapons. I have an axe. That's pretty cool. Because it's so small, there are some issues, but I think paint will take care of that. I did sand it a little bit. I hope that'll do some stuff. Here is the sword. I'm pretty happy how that turned out. I am hoping that paint will kind of cover up some of the issues that's caused by an FDM 3D printer printing it. If I were doing these on the SLA printer, it would take a lot longer, but I could actually get the detail. This could be a really intricate sword, and I could have chosen a much more complicated model, but because I'm using my FDM printer rather than my dad's SLA printer, that's what I have to deal with, and I think it's okay because it's a small scale. I'm not selling this to anybody, so that's also I don't have to bear the weight of underperforming for someone. It's just a gift, and I think I can make this work pretty cool. Then also, here is the unicorn horn. It's much smaller than the weapon size, but I think that's okay. And if you look closely, let me see if I can get up and show you guys. If you look closely, there are the holes there, and so I'm thinking if you tie some string through there, you can put it right on the hedgehog's head and maybe strap it around under his neck. I'm not sure if you can suffocate a hedgehog. That would be up to the owner as to what to do with this exactly. I'm just gonna paint this as is. I'm also gonna paint these, and I'll probably document my progress, show you guys how it's going. I may actually film the painting. We'll see how it goes. Just stick around and we'll see how these turn out. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, so here's what I got going on. I've got the axe, the sword, and the unicorn horn. For the unicorn, I'm going to be using some white acrylic paint for that. For the base coat of these two, I think I will stick with a black acrylic coat for those. And that way, it'll just give it a nice even base coat because I really don't want the green to shine through very much, if at all. And so I'll just coat those two, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to be doing next. Okay, so I finished painting the first coat. We have our black axe and the sword, and I just put a second coat on the unicorn horn. That's upright. You can't see it very well because it's drying. So what my plan is going to be is that the sword is going to be, we're going to have that the silver color, and then its handle will be brown, and I think for the top metal part there and that little circle there, I'm going to do a copper color. I think that'll go well with it. Oops, this isn't brown. There's the brown. So that's the brown. And then for this, the axe, I'm going to do the axe head in gold, which is this color right here, and then I'll also do the handle in the brown. Acrylic paint is kind of, it's not very durable. It'll wear off. So I'm gonna have to clear coat these when it's all done. These are all enamel that I'm gonna be painting on top of acrylic. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I generally don't follow rules when I'm just being creative and just trying stuff. And it's worked in the past. I think once I get this done, I'm gonna clear coat it. I have either a semi-gloss or a matte finish. I'll see which one works best for each one. And I may end up, if I do a matte coating on them, I may just go over the metal parts and just shine them up again, just put another layer of enamel on top of that. That way if the enamel wears off, there's still a coating underneath it, several layers. It should last a long time. So I'm going to paint those, and I'll show you guys how they look. Okay, so as you can see from those, our sword and our axe are almost complete. I finished coating their first, I guess their first layer of actual colors. So we got the silver, we have that, that kind of copper color I was talking about, that brass, more copper actually. Then our wood, and then also wood right here, and then we have a gold axe head. I don't know if you guys can see the colors really well with the bright glare. But right now I'm going to show you guys what a wash can do. So this is just my acrylic paint, I think some black and brown, and then I put water in it and I think some dish soap to kind of break up that surface tension so that the liquid will get into the cracks. So for this, what you do is you basically kind of coat and let it run everywhere that it would like to, where you naturally have maybe dirt settle or there actually be shadows. So this is good for miniatures or other stuff like that. We're just adding detail and depth to different things. And then you can also have your different colors of washes that could do different things and give it different looks. But I think that that did a lot right there, but it made it pretty dark. So what you can do if something gets dark like this is you can then use your brush to wick out some of that extra dark liquid you got in there. And then hopefully that will kind of brighten it up. Then if that kind of made it too dark, if you ever do that on one, what you can do is then dry brush on white over the top. That means get your brush a little bit wet, wipe most of the paint out, and then just kind of lightly go over the top ridges, and it'll wipe off that paint on top. You do that usually with lighter colors to give it that look, and then darker colors usually do for in the cracks. So that's how that's gonna go. I think that's okay like that. One thing that's kind of sketchy with using your own paints and making it with just dish soap is that you get little bubbles that like to appear. I don't know if you can see any, like there's one right here, there's a little bubble, and you don't necessarily want those because those don't mimic or replicate anything that you're really going for with something like this. But that's that. I'm gonna let this dry. It looks like it lost a little bit of paint in those cracks there. And let's see what happens. Let that dry, and then once those are finished drying, I'm gonna do the same thing to them and kind of fill in the cracks and kind of darken it a little bit, and then I'll clear coat them to make sure that the paint stays on, and then I think I'll be done. Okay, so I finally finished with all three of these pieces. I did this unicorn horn with the two little tabs so that we can attach some kind of string or something to it. Hopefully that'll work. If that doesn't, well, I guess these wouldn't help anything, but there's two spares that are just plain without those attachments. Then I have the axe that I finished up. It's got that wooden handle look, and then the gold finish on top. I did clear coat these with a matte finish, and it kind of took away some of the shininess on the actual metal parts that were supposed to look metal. So I kind of dry brushed on a little bit more gold on there. Didn't do a whole lot, but that's okay, because it still kind of is shiny. You can kind of see the sheen on it. Got some bright lighting from up top, so it's going to kind of obscure the view a little bit, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that as far as my lighting situation. This one, I did use the matte clear coat too, and it didn't do a whole lot to that, which is fine, but it made the metal sword look basically gray rather than having that shiny look. So I basically coated that whole thing again. And so those are the 3 pieces that I'm going to be sending to the Hedgehog. I'm quite happy with them. I hope little Hedgehog will be happy too. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this stuff. Also, comment what kind of things you'd like to see me paint, or if you'd like me to explain other painting techniques that I've picked up. I am an amateur and a beginner to a lot of this stuff, so I'm just taking the resources that I have that are limited and making them work for my benefit. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.